What is your reaction to this Oakley incident?
Well, it's incredibly unfortunate for all parties concerned. And, you know, even though Oakley has his reasons, the reality is he doesn't look good in this equation. You know, you're 6'9", you're 250 pounds easy. I mean, he's built like just a chiseled brick house. This is a hardcore dude. And, you know, you have a reputation as being an enforcer on the NBA court, but also off of it. And you're seen pushing individuals who happen to be security, guarding personnel, law enforcement officials, or what have you. Thank God it didn't end up being worse than it actually could have been. So in that regard, Oakley does not look good. In the case of the New York Knicks, here was their side of things. Their attitude was like Charles Oakley was conducting himself in a belligerent fashion, so he ultimately had to be forcibly removed and was ultimately arrested. Because he was spewing some stuff in the direction of Chairman James Dolan and others, and it just could not be tolerated. I spoke to Charles Oakley, Max, 1:30 this morning, and at that time he said to me, I'm guilty of all of that, but it was after they approached me to remove me from the game and ultimately forcibly removed me. He said that was when I was losing it. Before that, I had not said a word. I had arrived at the arena. I was in the seat area for approximately 4 to 4.5 minutes. I never said a word to Mr. Dolan. I never said a word to anybody. I saw Mr. Dolan turn around, see me there, and then a minute later, all I see are a bunch of security and MSG personnel and others come over to me to tell me that I needed to leave the game. I got a ticket. I'm a fan like anybody else. I should be allowed to be at the game to watch the Knicks play, especially if I had a ticket and a seat. And he said, and I don't think it was right that I was removed. So that was his version. It differs from the New York Knicks because the New York Knicks say that he was removed after he was conducting himself in a certain fashion. He's saying that he only lost it when they approached him for no reason and told him that he had to leave the game. Those are two different versions. What it comes down to is who do you believe? And it's hard, and I think it's sort of, you know, I don't want to say it's irresponsible because everybody has their opinion. I've known Oakley for 20 years. The man's not a liar. He's always straight up. I mean, he's straight up, and everybody knows he's straight up because he's absolutely positively fearless when it comes to expressing himself in any way he so chooses. He's not worried about how anybody else feels. The flip side to it is that the New York Knicks and Ian Begley are saying that they had people who were witnesses who did hear him going off on James Dolan before security personnel arrived. Phil Jackson ultimately got out of the seat, went into the tunnel, tried to calm him down, at which time he was going ballistic about James Dolan, so much so that my sources told me Phil Jackson reached out to Michael Jordan and asked Michael Jordan to try and calm him down. But by that time, the police had had enough and had placed him under arrest and removed him from Madison Square Garden. That's the story.